3, 2, 1. And we're back. I want to go live. I want to say tonight we're going live. See who tunes in. And I would definitely get at least 20 Facebook friends to jump on and just see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, he's going to kill himself. And then they jump on, and then it turns out I'm just talking shit.
What are you going to call your house? We're live from...
I can't say the compound.
No.
The frat.
The compound makes it seem like you have a bunch of guns and...
I've got some guns, but not a whole lot of guns.
Like something's you're about to destroy half of your neighborhood. If everybody doesn't join your cult.
Definitely not a cult leader or a paranoid, crazy guy. But I've got a name. I'm like double down 11 because you always double down on 11, when you're playing blackjack.
What does double down mean?
In blackjack, you want to get as close as to 21 or 21 and beat the dealer's cards.
Right.
So when you're dealt the dealer is dealt one card face up, one face down. Mm-hmm. So you're assuming that face down card is a 10, either a face card or something equaling 10. So when you get your cards and you get 11, you assume your next card is also going to be a 10.
Okay.
Because blackjack, the deck of cards, the majority of cards are worth 10 points.
Right.
Because of face cards.
How
many face cards are there? 16?
4 times 4 is 16.
16 face cards
and
plus 4 tens.
10s, so 20.
So 20 out of 52 cards are worth 10 points in blackjack. So when the dealer is showing pretty much, anything the dealer's showing and you're dealt 11, you should double your bet.
Oh, double
your bet.
Because you're expecting it to be a 10, you're expecting it to be 21.
And getting 21.
So, I kept thinking it meant when you split. What is it when you split?
When you split is either when you're dealt 2 aces.
And you can have effectively you have 2 hands.
Yes. So you're dealt 2 aces, and they're both worth 1 or 11.
1 or 11.
So let's say you get 2 face cards, you hit blackjack twice.
Snap.
And you win double.
Oh my God.
So here, when you're at a casino and the dealer's showing a low card, like a 3, 4, 5, or 6, and you have 2 of the same cards, you split. So you move 2 chips, and the dealer deals you another card, and you play 2 hands.
Yep. So what happens if you only had 1 chip out there and you still wanted to split? Do you just throw another chip on there and they let you split?
You put a chip next to your chip.
Okay.
And it's only if you have either... I think it depends on the casino, but if you have 2 of the same card or 2 of equal value. Okay. I'm not sure if you can split like a jack and a king.
Right.
Because some casinos might allow that, some don't. But when you split and you have 2 10s and the dealer's showing a 6, you're assuming the dealer's going to bust. So,
because he's going to have to get the face card.
So he's got the face card and he has 16, then he gets another face card and he gets 26 and he busts.
Are we going to play HQ tonight?
Yeah, why not? We got 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes.
And what I'm trying to do now here is upload the YouTube videos that I put on my GoPro, or the GoPro videos, and it's not working. I think it's the cable.
Yeah. I have a couple of these random cables that go to hard drives.
Is there another USB?
Yeah,
Let me put it in the other USB. Try that.
There you go.
Oh, not found. So
the one thing that I've really liked having,
oh, you gotta be kidding me!
Going through airports and stuff like that is one of those pocket juices, or one of the portable batteries to charge your phone on.
I've got one.
That's been a lifesaver for me.
Yeah, I've got one. But the thing is, when I take it ice fishing, the cold just kills it.
Oh, really?
2 seconds. All right, got it working. Should we back to the news, folks? I get all my news through Facebook. Where do you get your news, Christina Tingle?
I pretty much I'll watch the news in the morning a little bit. Throughout the week, I'll watch different.
You watch network television?
I watch network television. I also look at things on Facebook. I read The Economist, which is something that's been a goal of mine to be more steadily read on that because it's more world news. It's in depth.
Isn't that a UK publication?
It is a UK publication, but
what is their view on the American political system?
American political system? I think that they are. If they were American, like if you thought of them in terms of America, that they would be leftist slightly. However, I do not think that they are biased towards the left significantly.
So the UK left is like our right.
Right. So, but if they were
and
in
their
America,
right is like extreme royalty, right?
So when I was in Iceland and I was sitting at I call it the lager dollar because that's what it looks like if you pronounce it, but I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it in Icelandic. There was people from all over the place. And I was talking to people from Germany, a person from Berkeley, and a couple of people from England. We're all sitting in this one hot tub together.
Nice.
And everybody that was from Europe was starting to get nervous because Trump had won the election in America. And everybody in Europe is kind of having the same issues. There's all this nationalism because of, there's immigrants coming up from Africa in Europe. So there's having this like strong nationalism. The same thing that's going on in America is going on in Europe. So we were the only country that actually elected the right wing person, which is kind of great. But I don't know what the world would look like right now had all of Europe flipped to a nationalistic political leader. So I feel like that's still within the works. The next couple of years, that could change for any one of those countries. I don't know.
Does that have something to do with Breitbart?
With Breitbart?
I'm not in tune with the European.
No, Breitbart's American, I believe, right? What's his face?
What's the one? What's the
Brexit?
Brexit.
Yeah.
I'm
so
dumb.
I think that I don't know how much Brexit has to do about nationalism, but obviously there is a nationalistic component because it's Britain saying we don't want to be part of the European Union anymore. So that is nationalistic to be like, okay, we're going back to just
Our
being
own.
Britain.
Right.
But I think that there was a lot of economic motivators in that, not necessarily we're so concerned about people migrating to our country that we need to like put up a wall or anything like that. So I don't think it was the same way as America is about nationalism right now.
But you can't just go. You can't just go to Europe and become a citizen. Right?
You have to get a visa to be there.
But like countries like Australia, or you can't just take up citizenship. Like
you can't just. It's the same way here.
You can't just show up and say, "I want to be a citizen, and I'm seeking asylum, and you have to let me in."
You can do that there,
but you have to go through the
proper channels.
You can't
there's both.
Demand to be treated like a citizen, and here I am, got my family, got my wife and kids.
Right.
Set me up.
Right. There are a lot of boats that come across the Mediterranean Sea the same way that people cross the Rio Grande to come up over here. So they do get boatloads of people. I think it's easier to intercept a random boat that's
like Greece.
Going across.
Didn't Greece have people showing up on the beach from somewhere?
Yeah.
Where
I'm not for sure exactly.
Like the Middle East, right?
Syria.
Yeah, Syrians were showing up in Greece. Dude, why don't you come over here and sit down?
You can be our Justin.
Bieber.
Who is it on Joe Rogan's show that just pulls up all the facts for Joe while he's like trying to talk?
That's
There are Africans that like people from
Jamie.
Jamie.
Yeah.
There's people from Tunisia. Like, all those northern African countries aren't doing too hot right now anyway. So there's people on what is it, the Rock of Gibraltar. So Spain owns a tiny piece of land in Morocco.
Yeah.
And all the Moroccans try to force their way into that tiny piece of land so that they can gain citizenship. So basically, all over Africa, they migrate to that one area, and they'll try to like hop over the fence. There is a fence there, and there's men that guard it, and they'll just try to mob one part of the fence to get over into that area. I'm gonna Google it right now.
Yes. See, I need a Googler.
That's right.
Like somebody who sits and like Jamie.
Exactly.
I'm like, Jamie, Google that.
Fact checked us.
Then I can switch to the screen.
Immigration. Illegal immigration from Africa to Spain. I'll try that one.
Did you see this story about a woman ordered a Moana cake for her daughter, but the baker heard marijuana? And it was a black lady that made a cake with a marijuana theme and then got fired.
That's not right. I feel like that's a legitimate mistake.
These stories are always exaggerated. You never know like what really happened. Marijuana themed cake made this family's day in Milledgeville, Georgia, mainly because it was a mistake.
Well, did they actually put some weed in it? Like, did they put some weed butter in it?
I don't think so. Kensley Davis, whose favorite movie is Disney's animated tale Moana, wanted a movie-themed cake to celebrate her 25th birthday. Okay, that's a red flag right there. 25-year-old wants a Moana cake.
Right.
Her mom called the local Dairy Queen. Okay, what 25 going on 2 with the order, and the shop heard marijuana instead.
As they would.
My mama called and ordered me a cake, telling them how much I love Moana, because I really do. Well, needless to say, these people thought she said marijuana. The ice cream cake was still good, though. So they want.
So they ate it.
So they ate it. So
they showed it to everybody, and they still ate it.
So my guess is they want some kind of compensation, or
maybe they want another.
So they bitched to the bakery and said they messed up my cake.
They want free ice cream cakes for life.
Y'all fucked up my cake. I want some money. Yeah, that's all it is. Just bullshit. A 25-year-old who's a Disney fan who gets a cake with a marijuana theme, so offended.
She wants to get a trip to Disney World paid.
Disney World to watch the Disney Brawl. Did you see the Disneyland Brawl?
Oh.
Let me find that for you. I want to see if you've seen that, because that is ridiculous. Oh. Are you HQing it?
There's 4:45 left until it starts.
Junior just texted me beer.
Does that mean he wants to go out?
That means coffee.
Uh-huh. Oh, gotcha.
I'll just say, come on over.
Oh, God. I'm just going to have to go. I'm screwed today because I don't have any more data and the Wi-Fi is going to jack up on me. That was funny. Not the two, but the HQ it.
HQ. So here's what kills me about HQ is they're like $250,000 prize. Then they get down to 10 people and they say, okay, who wants to back out? You'll get 16 cents.
Uh-huh.
Then all these people quit right there.
Yep.
Why would you take 16 cents?
I don't know. DL's mom did.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
But
because you're that close to winning a grand prize of real money.
She considered it a win, though. So.
I guess if you're not confident that you're gonna win,
Mm-hmm.
I just lost
Well,
the internet.
there's just so much. It's probably all of us drawing off of it right now.
I hope it's still recording.
Nothing to it but to HQ.
Well, the TV, the phones, the air conditioner, the thermostat,
It's all on your
the
internet?
TV, yeah, everything is on the Wi-Fi.
Oh, shit.
I think every electronic is on
Because you can,
Wi-Fi
like,
here.
control it from your phone?
Yes.
Nice.
We can control everything here from a phone.
So fancy.
So modern.
So modern.
You're welcome. Thanks, Buddha. I'm on airplane mode, but yet still connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you can do that in the plane.
Junior says, do you have coffee? I wish. You know, he won't listen to this, which is great.
What, us podcasting?
Yeah. It's like, bro, no coffee. We love coffee.
They're going to do another Stranger Things trivia.
I have never watched that. So,
I
Tingle,
watched the
tell
first
me about
season.
Stranger Things. Like, tell me about, like, a guy who just was... I time traveled from the 80s, and I just showed up. Now tell me about Stranger Things. I've never seen it.
Stranger Things, so basically things have changed a lot in the last 30 years.
Okay.
However, we're being retro and recreating this TV show that is like a show you would have watched in the 80s.
I'm from the 80s, so...
Winona Ryder's in it, so that should be something
I
that
watch
you'd enjoy.
Beetlejuice. Yeah,
Right, so
I like her.
You'll like this.
Okay.
It's about like a gang of kids in Portland, I believe. So it's kind of like the
So
Goonies,
the Goonies,
right?
okay.
And then it ends up being like this kid gets sucked through a wall, which is kind of like Poltergeist because a kid got sucked through the television in the Poltergeist, right?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Carol Ann. That's
Carol
another
Ann.
story. We'll get into that later.
So you combined everything that you watched right now in the 80s. We're making a new show of it in the 20 teens.
Okay.
I only watched half of a season. It was pretty good.
But the show takes place in the 80s.
Yes.
And is it a fantasy or a
It
reality?
has a sci-fi component to it because this kid gets sucked into the wall, and then Winona Ryder goes crazy trying to find her kid, and they put up these like Christmas lights on the wall, and it gives her this message that the kid's in this other place, this alternate dimension, which I don't really know what it is. So it's a goal of mine to spend like maybe in the wintertime when it's all crappy again, I'll start binge watching TV shows, and that'll be one of the things like I finish. However, it's been very popular.
Because of nostalgia.
Exactly, nostalgia. Everybody
So
is
people
reminded
our
of their
age are
childhood.
like, we want to see our childhood
Exactly.
once again.
Correct.
Even though the show could suck, we just want to find something.
I don't think that it sucks though. I think it's a combination. I think it is a good show, and nostalgia.
Well, one of my favorite YouTube channels is what the hell is it? It's a movie review channel.
Uh-huh.
And they do just random. They're two guys from England, and they do random American movies. And the last one they did was Stand By Me, which is, for us, is like pure nostalgic. It's like a movie from the 80s set in the 50s about kids on like living in a small town in Oregon.
Maine,
the book is Maine, the movie is Oregon.
Okay.
Because in the beginning of the movie he goes, we were from a small town in Oregon called Castle Rock.
Gotcha.
In the book it's Castle Rock, Maine. Not sure.
Because Stephen King wrote it, and that's like,
not sure why they
does.
didn't use Maine in the movie. But that movie could easily be Vermont.
Oh,
If
totally.
you look at the scenery, the river,
Mhm.
the town, that's everywhere in Vermont. So if you grew up in Vermont in the 80s, that was an awesome movie. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, that was me. I was 12. I
Yeah.
was riding my bike with all my friends, riding around. We would get in fights. We would get beat up by the older kids
Did
who
you
are
really?
older brothers. Yeah. We were terrified. We'd show up to like the dam to go fishing,
Yeah.
and then like a car, or not even a car, like the older kids would show up. And we'd be like, if we don't get the hell out of here, they're going to kill us. And they would beat the shit out of us.
That's so funny.
And back then it was okay. You go home and say, I just got my ass kicked. They say, you shouldn't have been there. Your parents would be like, well, I don't care. What do you it's your problem, not mine.
My mom told me so much stuff. She graduated in 1979, I think. And she was saying that their main rival, it was Watertown and South Jeff. Every Friday.
This is New York?
Yeah. Every Friday, either school would go and travel to the other school, and they would just have an all-out brawl. And
just like the outsiders.
Just have an all-out
like one
brawl.
gang against the other.
Yep, and they would just start laying into each other, and like that's pretty much what she did on Friday.
Like end of the outside, like Patrick Swayze and his preppy buddy from football.
Mm-hmm.
They were the leaders of each gang. Then they get in a big fight.
Yeah, they just go and they beat the hell out of each other.
And the greasers won, right? No, probably not.
Like,
the jocks usually won.
But then my mom also told me this story that she was in the locker room one day, and you know how the lockers, they go like this and there's holes in them, and it was like something punched a hole through, so on the other side it was sharp circles like that went through there, so like it pushed the metal through.
Yeah.
She knew these two girls, and they got into a fight in the locker room, and the one girl took the girl's head and scraped her face over the backside of that locker. My mom said that she saw her like 15 years later, and she still had the scars on her face from that girl just taking chunks of skin out of her face.
That is so true about like high schools in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
If you look at the old yearbooks where it says like your caption.
Yep.
And back in the early 80s, the ones I've read are like, I was the biggest drunk, or I smoked weed. Everything was like related to getting wasted. And what these kids did was go to a spot in the woods with a keg and beer, and they get drunk as shit.
Which we did too, but it was
somebody
different.
Would show up and say, "You fucked my girlfriend." They would,
and it turned into a big brawl.
And not, a lot of the times it wasn't even the guy he was looking for. He would just pick somebody.
Yeah.
And I've seen guys gotten the shit beaten out of them. And I was only 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And so most of these guys were like 19 or 20, out of high school, still a townie. Somebody disrespected their sister or something, and they show up to the high school party, start punching people.
And you know it's something when somebody that's way older comes to your high school party. I remember a couple
to kick someone's ass.
Yeah.
And a high school kid or even a college kid is not the same as a man. You're not muscular.
No, it's not.
You're
you don't
soft.
Have the same experience.
Just playing rugby against college kids, they go flying when you hit them. A men's club, you hit somebody, one of them's going to bounce off. Most of the time, it depends on who's got lower, who's heavier. College kids, they will go flying. They do not have the same density or muscle mass as an adult.
Because, like when I think probably up until.
Why do I have no internet?
Recently.
This is ridiculous.
I actually knew that was Holy Grail. I'm super pissed now.
I'm out.
I didn't think that there was a huge.
Fuck HQ trivia.
Which of these states is not home to an island?
Vermont. See, we know the Vermont
New Jersey
question.
Has Princeton in it.
Yes. Rhode Island has Brown.
Yeah.
Vermont has nothing. But there's prep schools in Vermont.
Yeah. Because of Dead Poets Society.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Oh, Captain.
Robin Williams. You go to a cave and talk about poetry. and your professor, who's very deviant, teaches you about poetry. That was that movie.
Yes.
Conformity was the enemy there. But I think that took place in the 40s, that movie. Right?
Yeah.
I think it was like a Catcher in the Rye type of theme there, where 1940s, the kids were rebels by learning poetry and outside the box thinking.
Right.
What was that? 90s? That was a pretty cool movie for our
Dead
age.
Poets Society was in the 80s because I remember being on cable when we lived in Watertown, and we moved up to.
Yeah, maybe it was late 80s.
I think it was like 88 or 89.
Dead Poets. 89.
Yeah.
Yep. Right at the end of the 80s.
Because it's like, I remember watching it at home, like on, I don't know, HBO.
Young up and coming. Robert Sean Leonard, Ethan Hawke, like up and coming.
Robert Sean Leonard, what is he on? Was he on House? He's been in a lot of TV shows.
He did a couple movies back then.
He never like blew up really hard, but he's been consistently around.
He's on House.
Yeah.
Totally looks like an old man now.
Yeah. Who else was in that movie?
There was no. I'm not Matt Damon, but I'm thinking of School Ties.
Yeah.
that had every actor from that era.
Period in it, yeah.
That period.
My college roommate really loved School Ties because she was Jewish and she felt like this. Like,
and Brendan Fraser was her hero.
Yeah.
So, set in 1959 at the fictional elite conservative Vermont boarding school Welton Academy.
Yes.
But I think it's based on Phillips Exeter in New Hampshire, which is where Bush went and
a
bunch of rich white guys.
Right.
So any kind of deviation was bad, I guess, was that whole movie's premises. Ethan Hawke, Robin Williams, Lara Flynn Boyle was the girl.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, she's a 90s chick.
She totally is because she did Twin Peaks, she did that, and she did like a couple other things, but she banged Jack Nicholson, and that was about the most last famous thing. Oh, yeah, she was with him for like the longest time.
What?
Yeah. There was pictures of them like on a boat.
Lucky son of a bitch.
And
no,
he's just like eating a grinder.
He's the top of the like legendary actor of this time. When Jack Nicholson dies, it's gonna be like this was the best ever.
Yeah.
And if you think about all the movies Jack Nicholson was in that are classics, like The Shining,
China Beach,
Chinatown.
China
Beach was a like soap opera show.
Oh shit, yeah.
Classics, As Good as It Gets.
I loved As Good as It Gets. I thought he was hysterical.
I mean, The Witches of Eastwick was
That's
good.
That's a great movie. Any of those, like with Cher and Michelle Pfeiffer and Susan Sarandon, that was a good movie.
Yeah. But yeah, Jack Nicholson was. I don't think he even went to college. He was.
I don't know what he did. I feel like he started out as doing a plumber.
He was in Easy Rider. Yep. The biker movie from the 60s. He was
the crazy hitchhiker.
Yeah, but he was a preppy guy in the movie, and he ends up dying.
Yeah.
I think he plays George. That's his name. And he was like a football hero. Yeah. And he starts hanging out with bikers and smoking weed. And they teach him how to smoke weed in the movie. And that was 69?
Yeah, that's
maybe?
Way back. Then he was with Angelica Houston for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
I don't really know what.
Were they married?
I don't think they were married, but
I still have no internet. This is the worst thing ever.
Totally banging. Did you jack up if you can connect? You can't connect on here either?
It says connected but no internet.
What did you do? Uh-oh. Nikki says she's got hers going on. I'm connected to Coquina's 24.
24 is different. 50 is the main one that we use.
I'm on 24.
Is our password the same for 50 and 24?
Is it?
So 50 is not, I guess, not working. All right. Do you want to share with Christina Martinez? Done. So
Thank
I just
you.
shared with you.
I just changed the Coquina's.
Oh, so
50.
we're back. We're back on now. I hope I didn't lose my recording.
I don't think so, because that's not hooked up to your internet, right?
Right.
What's your password?
Is it Nina2 Floral?
Any capitals?
Capital F for LORAL. Number 2. Capital NINA. And then 16. 16. So Jack Nicholson, born in 37.
Oh, yeah.
82 years old.
Yeah.
So when he dies, it's going to be like legendary.
I feel like
Easy Rider was his first real movie. Then 5 Easy Pieces, where he had the scene with the toast. How about I'll play that? How about that? Let's go to some video here now that we have a connection.
I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio is kind of falling in his lines, but that's not true because Leonardo DiCaprio just doesn't date anybody
He's not the same
past
level.
25. No, that's true.
Well, personally,
but
not as an actor. He is nowhere near.
Leonardo DiCaprio's got Martin Scorsese in his back pocket, though, and they collaborate on a lot of things.
Scorsese is nothing like he used to be.
That's true.
He's an old man that's rich. Once you get rich, you lose your creative ability.
Right, because you don't have the struggle anymore.
You're right. You have nothing. Like Howard Stern, once he became rich, sucked so bad.
I can't wait to be so uncreative.
Scorsese got rich. No longer makes good movies.
No.
I don't care. Argue with me if you want, but people are like, "Oh, Scorsese's coming out with a new movie. It's going to be good."
He's just got that name now, so
the fucking
he's done so much
Boston.
in his previous.
What's the Boston movie? Departed. Is that Scorsese?
Yeah, it's Departed. That's one that
I didn't think that was good.
I didn't think that was either. And Mark Wahlberg playing the dirty cop.
Yeah,
I didn't really think that was a great.
You talking about Goodfellas compared to the movies like more recent movies?
Ray Liotta is fucking phenomenal.
Goodfellas is like the best movie ever. Like,
I know
it's up there with The Godfather.
It's on TV all the time. And
it didn't win Best Picture because Dances with Wolves won Best Picture.
But look at the one that everybody watches all the time. Still, is Goodfellas.
Yes.
It's not.
If you're flipping around the channels and Goodfellas is on, I'm watching it.
I'm watching it too. I just watched the trilogy of The Godfather the other day. So that was all on.
Watch 1 and 2, do coke off of 3.
Yeah, I can't say.
Famous words from Artie Lang.
I can't say I actually watched the third one, but it's still on.
He's like every time buy the Godfather trilogy, watch 1 and 2, do coke off of 3.
Well, I mean, you know what? Andy Garcia is in Godfather 3. Both of the movies that I watched on my last flights had Andy Garcia in it. I watched The Mule and I watched Book Club.
I've never heard of either one of those movies.
Oh, The Mule? So The Mule is Clint Eastwood, and it starts out with him being this, hey, real schmoozy type of guy, and he has a really great, floral business, whatever. It's, making money. They always have all these conferences where they win awards and all this stuff, and he's doing great. They show him 12 years later, and the internet has ruined his business. There's no need for a salesman anymore. There's no need for specific types of farms everybody goes to because you can just buy generic things off the internet all the time. So he starts he's destitute. He hasn't paid attention to his family. The one relationship he's trying to keep is the one with his granddaughter. So he promises her that he's going to buy the bar for her wedding. And
Why have I never heard of this?
oh, it's a good movie.
What year?
It's recent.
Oh.
And like, so anyway, it ends up being that he had a bunch of Mexicans that were working for him when he had his floral business, and he had to send them all going. So he goes to his granddaughter's, I don't know, little party that you have before you're going to have a wedding. And somebody comes up to him and is like, here, I think that you could use some work. Call this number. So he starts being a drug mule in between Mexico and wherever the fuck they are. And they keep giving him like bigger and bigger loads of cocaine.
Nice.
And he's just this dude that's always been traveling. He's a traveling salesman. So it gets like amplified. And I fell asleep. But it was a good movie, so I have to look at,
Suspenseful.
I have to watch it. Yeah, because he doesn't give any F's about. He doesn't care that he's carrying a bunch of cocaine in the back of his truck. If he sees people that need help on the side of the road, he stops and he helps them. If he wants to get ice cream, yeah, he stops and he gets them. And then
I have $1 million worth of blow. I'm gonna help.
They start putting a
people.
handler on him, and like he's driving the handler nuts because he keeps stopping and doing all these things.
All right,
But
so it's a fantasy movie.
It's a Clint Eastwood movie.
Oh, Clint! Oh,
so
come on!
Oh, come on! You don't like Clint Eastwood movies?
Yeah, no. Everybody's like, he's the greatest ever. You know why? Because in the '60s, he was in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and he was good. Then in Dirty Harry.
You didn't like $1 Million Baby?
No.
George.
Clint Eastwood as an old man is not badass. It does not. It's not a movie that's good.
You didn't like that one?
Will trigger my emotions.
You didn't like Gran Torino?
No, I never saw that.
Gran Torino's I heard it was pretty good.
But he's still is old man Clint Eastwood. I do not like old man Clint Eastwood. I like Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Are you afraid of being an old man, George?
No, I look forward to being an old man.
Okay.
No, I'm telling you, the director Clint Eastwood, an actor.
You didn't like $1 Million Baby?
No, I didn't. I watched it when I was drunk on. Actually, I watched it on the shuttle boat to the casino we worked at, and somebody gave away the ending.
Oh,
during
that
the
sucks.
Movie.
That's the whole fucking point of it.
And it was that Christy Swanson.
Yeah, it was Hillary
Swank.
Swank, yeah.
Swank. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, whatever. And I like Clint Eastwood from Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Dirty Harry, Magnum Force.
Yeah.
Unforgiven, I didn't even like that movie. And that's an old. I
never watched that one. That's like '94.
That was supposed to be the best of the best of the best, and I just didn't like the themes in that movie. I didn't think it was realistic.
Yeah.
That people behave that way.
Well, that was
the dark themes were realistic, but I didn't believe that he's some hero going to save the hooker and is true to his wife even though she tried to come on to him.
Oh,
like how many guys would?
Especially back then, they totally would have.
His wife died, right?
Yeah.
And his wife died. He's single. He's out there shooting people. So he's got enough like moxie to go out there, mojo to go out and fight people and shoot people.
But he's not going to bang this
the girl,
prostitute.
Yeah, that he's been protecting this whole time comes on to him, and he says, "No, I can't because my wife died." Never going to happen.
George, you have no honor.
I know, but just I'm a realist. Being realistic is first and foremost on this show.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yes, Clint back in the Dirty Harry movies was a good guy. Even though I only liked two of them, I liked Dirty Harry and Magnum Force. The rest, bullshit. But the Magnum Force was like the bad guys in that movie were they came up with the best, like the pimp, the big drug dealer that's like screwing the younger couple in that scene.
Oh yes.
And that was the one with the 3 cops that were crooked.
Magnum Force?
Yeah. And
I
the
don't know.
one is
I've seen it a couple of times.
Tim Matson from Animal House was
Yeah.
one of the 3 cops. So Dirty Harry's investigating all these murders, and it turns out to be these 3
People from the
vigilante cops that are killing the worst criminals.
Ooh, you know what? Play Misty for me. Have you ever seen that?
Yes. You know I tell you about Slurpee?
That's how you
That's
feel?
Slurpee. Play Misty. Play Misty for me is about Clint Eastwood being a radio disc jockey.
DJ, and the same chick calls up all the time.
The same woman calls stalking him.
Yeah.
Looks just like a coworker of mine. But the movie is about personality disorders and stalking.
Yep.
And it's a very heavy themed movie about that.
Before we had labels for those
Before
things.
single white female.
Mm-hmm.
This was the original.
Yo, Bridget Fonda was the shit in the early 90s. Like,
what's her deal again?
She just stopped being in movies.
But is she's not famous through other...
Well, yeah, she's one of the Fondas.
Oh yeah, Henry Fonda,
Jane
Fonda. Okay,
yeah, she's part of that family.
I didn't even.
I think she's
and
Henry's
Jennifer
daughter.
Jason Leigh is the other single white female.
Yeah,
she is the daughter of John Voight.
Jennifer Jason Leigh is not the daughter of John Voight, is she? She's the daughter of somebody. She's the.
Okay, so who's Jennifer? Jennifer Jason Leigh's father is Vic Morrow, who was chopped up in a helicopter during the making of Twilight Zone, the movie.
Yeah, she definitely has roots.
So
too.
Twilight Zone, the movie, Vic Morrow, the guy who plays in the Vietnam sequence.
Yeah.
During the filming, John Landis was directing out of hours with underage actors.
Yeah.
The helicopter came down too close, chopped his head off, and killed the other 2 kids. And
that's a
changed movie making forever.
Yeah, because
1980.
Those huge, some of those helicopters, the propellers are huge. So if you actually see them when they're not in flight, they hang down. So they have to get up to speed before they're actually flying.
It was a Vietnam sequence at night, and it was in a pond in Hollywood where they filmed jungle scenes and stuff. And the chopper came down, chopped the actors into pieces. So that was Jennifer Jason Leigh's father.
Yeah.
So that's why she's a mess.
Do you have pee breaks during your show?
Yeah. We're going to take one right now.
Taking a break, right?
Taking a break is what I do. Is there a pause? I don't think there's a pause.